Hi all, Jin here to go over the next meta support, the dancer herself. If you are a fan of Y'shtola and Rosa, you probably will also enjoy yourself some Penelo. I'm always the biggest fan of great supports that do everything you need, giving you nearly unlimited options for the second and third slots in your team. If you're curious how my pools went for her, I did a pool battle with another fellow content creator, Amaterasu, which I'll link his channel below. He's a good friend and also started doing analysis vids and does many great chaos clears. And the banner with two great characters, Penelo and Edge, and their two new EX Plus on the banner, I'd definitely recommend pooling or pitying this banner if needed, specifically for Penelo, but grabbing Edge on the way is terrific as well. If you're curious about Edge, she's definitely a solid unit. Penelo is objectively the better of the two in terms of what she can bring, so if you only plan to invest in one, I'd recommend Penelo. But Edge is great himself, fills the nice niche of party evasion tank that can be exploited in JP still to this day, and he also brings decent damage and party auras. He's much better than paralysis characters, for example, because you can force the boss to waste their attacks, such as their recast ability when they just miss, versus when they're paralyzed they still will do the attack. You can pair him with a Thunder Impaler or someone who can extend his evasion buffs for a better team comp. But we're all here for Penelo, and she comes with a much needed rework and the debut of her EX, which can be realized of course along with Edges. So let's go over her base kit first. Skill 1, Haste Roomba, is instant turn rate and batteries the party 40% of her max brave, removes the unique buff Waltz Step if you have it up, and grants the party the generic buffs of 20% attack up and 50% speed up, and gives 1 stack of the unique buff Roomba Step, which goes up to 3 stacks. And this gives her 20% attack, 40% eye brave, and speed, and gives the party additional 40% attack aura. So skill 1 is her offensive stance, and this stance I'd recommend being in the most for most team comps due to the additional attack aura. This skill has instant turn rate, so it can help to charge her EX ASAP if needed. Roomba Step at 1 stack will give its version of Brave Plus and HP Plus, and at max 3 stacks you will gain its versions of Brave Plus Plus and HP Plus Plus. Both Brave Plus versions battery the party by 20% max Brave, but Brave Plus Plus has 3 Brave hits instead of 2. Both HP Pluses have Brave gain of 20% max Brave prior to Brave hits, but the HP Plus Plus has 2 Brave hits instead of 1 and has additional 120% overflow. Skill 2, Regen Waltz, only has high turn rate, not instant like Skill 1, but it batteries the party 40% of her max Brave as well, removes the unique buff Roomba Step if she has it on, and grants the party the generic buffs of Brave Regen based on 100% eye Brave and HP Regen based on 20% max HP, and grants 1 stack of the unique buff Waltz Step, which also goes up to 3 stacks. And this gives herself 40% attack and eye brave and speed up, and gives the party additional brave regen based on 20% eye brave and HP regen based on 10% max HP. Her skill 2 is more the defensive stance, and this would be the better stance for a team comp if you don't need the additional attack aura and you want more brave regen and battery from her HP plus. Her HP plus in this stance won't be dealing brave damage, but could be a good thing if you pair her with people who like breaks like Aranea or Lightning that's coming up, or King of course. Otherwise, you should just be using this skill to primarily reapply the generic buffs and for more heals when needed. Waltz Step at 1 stack will give its versions of Brave Plus and HP Plus, and while at max 3 stacks you will gain its versions of Brave Plus Plus and HP Plus Plus. The Brave Plus and HP Plus will battery the party based on 70% of her attack, while the Brave Plus Plus and HP Plus Plus will battery the party based on 120% of her attack. The HP Plus Plus will also have 120% overflow. Penelo's C65 grants her an additional use of both skills and the party max brave up of 15% at crystal level 70. Penelo is one of the rare ones that you can easily do without her bloom, to be honest, because all it does is extend the turns to 5 from 3, and you don't get any additional use, and she's fast and goes consecutively very often, so she would burn through that buff very quickly. I got the bloom just because I like the complete characters that I purple, but otherwise it's easily skippable in my opinion. Penelo's EX ability, Intercession, at base is already great with its instant turn rate and gravity-like effect of lowering the target's brave by 100% of her own eye brave by 5 times, so essentially 500%, and will do an HP attack equivalent to 500% of her own eye brave, while not consuming any brave and battering the rest of the party by 30% HP damage dealt. And then you would just normally follow up this with her HP attack directly after that instant turn rate. Alright, so clearly she's already amazing at base EX, and onto her EX Plus at 0.3, she has 120% overflow on her EX, and it will grant an additional stack of whatever unique buff is active. So if she's in Roomba Step, it will give her an additional stack of Roomba Step. At 1-3, she adds 20% additional overflow to all Brave gained and stolen, and you start off with a free ability use, allowing her to partially set up without wasting a skill. At 2-3, increases her attack and max Brave by 80%, that's pretty large. At 3-3, her EX effects are increased by 150% I Brave rather than the 100% at base, and she heals the party by 50% of HP damage dealt up to 20% max HP. And she's most likely going to be always hitting that 20% max heal. So Penelo actually is already quite effective at EX plus 0-3, so if you're short on ingots, you should be alright with just keeping her there for now. But me personally, I plan to use her a lot, so I want her dealing all that big ass damage because I compare her to Rosa, where at 0-3 they both help support the party, but at 3-3 they're helping to dish out decent damage as well with their increased longevity and the fact that Penelo's EX is up very often, more than Rosa's, so you want it dealing plenty of damage. So I would recommend trying to 3-3 her if you can. And the heal on the EX can help in times of emergency, since the regens may not be fast enough. Her sphere grants the party 20% I Brave after granting a buff. I'm not so sure this is that good for her actually, due to the fact that she's already battering the party whenever she grants buffs. If you want to have her batter even more, then sure, then go for it. But I think there might be some leakage going on, and it might be a little overkill. It's just my opinion. Y'shtola's sphere is pretty good for her, which raises Brave when breaking or attacking a broken target. And since she's always starting back at 0 Brave after HP dump, and if you have to rely on her Brave regen to do another HP attack if you're not using a skill, then that extra Brave gain back from Yushi's sphere may help her hit a little bit harder. And plus her EX will be able to break almost anybody, so it's not that hard for her to activate that sphere. Looking to the future, I'd consider Maria's, Lena's, Selfie's, or Alphina's spheres to be quite nice for her. They all raise attack, I Brave, and or max Brave for the whole party every time HP is restored, which would be always on Penelo. So this would just be further adding additional auras to her on top of everything. Along with her D slot, you can further add even more additional party auras since all D spheres add party auras. So if you have the right spheres for her, I think you can really bolster up her party auras even more, which would be insane. And that's probably what I would plan to do. I think it's important to see everything Penelo brings in terms of auras and buffs, so that you can get an understanding of why she's so good. Once you've applied all her generic buffs from both stances, these are the totals that she brings. It's neatly compiled thanks to the Tonberry troop. I'm not going to read it all off, but you can see how much her party gains from her. And while in Roomba Step you get the additional 40% attack, and while in Waltz Step you get the additional 10% HP regen and 20% Brave regen. So seeing all that she brings, that's obviously her biggest pro, her buffs and auras. Other pros being her EX can shave pretty much anything to 0, no matter how much Brave they have, she's probably going to get it down to 0. It's up all the time, dealing massive damage and battery for the party, and includes healing, assuming you 3-3 her. She's also a battery machine, and neither of her skills take up turn count, so she can quickly buff and battery your party with no turns taken. Her cons, her EX will always take up 2 turns, due to the fact that you cast the EX and then she has instant turn rate and will go right after, and neither of these are free turns. But it does deal decent damage while battering the party and healing them, so it is a fine trade-off, so it's not a big deal. But she does run through buffs like crazy due to this. Like, if she's not the one giving herself the buff, you can consider them gone relatively soon. And she gives 4 generic buffs to the party, so if others are bringing different ones to hers, or have a lot of their own unique buffs, you would have a problem with buff management. She also cannot shave much outside of her minimal HP plus in Roomba Step and her EX, which obviously shaves really well. Overall, what she brings very much outweighs her cons. Healers are a premium for Dimension's End, as well as supports that provide great auras, and Penelo does all of that really well while bringing the damage. Just pull for her if you haven't already. For artifacts, I'd recommend 170, 330. 170 is for her EX to deal tons of damage, and 330 will increase the ceiling of all her damage. Attack is not a bad option, because if you're using Waltz Step a lot, all her battery for that is based on attack. But her skill batteries are based on max Brave, and you want her being able to hold as much Brave as she can. So generally you're going for her EX damage and her max Brave, hence 170, 330 is ideal. I guess the priority, if I was going to rank them, would be iBrave, just because her EX is up all the time, you want it dealing a lot of damage, and then max Brave would be next. How to play her in a nutshell? It just depending on which stance you prefer, you open with the other first. I normally would prefer the offensive Roomba stance, so I would open with skill 2 to get those generic buffs first, then you can HP plus to dump it, then go to skill 1 and HP plus to dump that, and then use skill 1 again to get your second stack, and then EX for your third stack. If you're playing the longevity road, you can hold off on using the second skill 1 until sometime after the EX. And on the flip side, if you're playing the fast offensive route, you can start with skill 2, then skill 1 right after to get all the buffs up for everyone first, rather than dumping Brave in between the skills. Okay, so now let's just take her into the Pandemonium Chaos. I'm going to avoid taking a delay team so that we can have some fun with this boss. Otherwise, you can just keep it from acting with Y'shtola, Aranea, and Tifa, for example. The boss pretty much requires constant healing if you actually let it act. So everyone I'm bringing here has some heals of their own, and it's a nice lady squad as well, so that's a nice bonus. I think I'm gonna take Setsu's gonna be good. Freeze and delay as well. So let's try this out and see how it goes. Alright, let's just open up, get everyone Rosa's regen, HP regen. And we can taunt him. We're going to be taking the HP attack, so I'm going to go ahead and open with S1 first. So I'll stay in the waltz step after. Let's just get all our buffs up. Now we go with the regen waltz. And HP plus. So the heals from Penelo are nice right now. You can see how much HP regen that is. My EX will be up after this, so I'll just dump here. Not a big deal, Celes can take any hit. The beauty of her EX. Look at that, 99999. And everyone's filled up on their max brave too. I'm gonna make sure Celes stays alive here, fill up my HP. Oh, she got missed anyways. So I'm gonna have to stay in the regen waltz for now. Stay with the heals, otherwise every turn we're getting blasted. With the misses. Finally. Let's get our buffs back up. Now we can go into the offensive stance. Wow, he's missing a lot. Let's heal up. I got a runic before I can use the EX. Pop the EX. at that. Everyone filled up on Brave. You can see how Penelo's buffs just run out really quickly. Let's go ahead and use my C65. Something wrong with my audio right now. Just HP attack here. And we'll pray. Penelo's out of pray already. Let's get our regen back up. Go ahead and just HP plus. Go ahead, HP plus again. Jeez, that HP attacks. So we're gonna need these heals. Look at that HP regen. Ooh. It's just combining all three of their HP regens together pretty much. Thank you very much for filling up my Brave. And let's go ahead and dump. Ooh, let's get my EX up. Ooh, I think Celes can take that anyways. Let's let her take care of it. And we'll just use some skills for now, get the EX up. Ooh, what a launch this is gonna be. Check my audio real quick, something funny. I'm gonna have to runic again. I'm gonna save this for healing afterwards, so let's just go ahead and HP plus, make sure I get some Brave back. Time to regen everything again. Now we heal up. Let's go ahead and use one of these C65s. C65 is actually not the greatest thing to use. I just noticed during these tornadoes being up. It's okay. Ooh, don't kill me, please. Ooh, they might kill Celes here. Let's go ahead and we can summon now. I'm gonna be taking a lot of HP damage during this, but it's okay. Yeah, ideally you don't want to summon when those two are up, but I didn't want Celes dying on me. Let's go ahead and get the haste buffs up. And then we'll change back to the other stance afterwards. No, let's change it back now. I'm gonna bring out Setzer now. Just freeze them. Yeah, nothing. And we're just gonna red card him to death. Oh, did I let Rosa's prey fall off? Wow, what a noob. Too many buffs, not even paying attention anymore. No worries. I refresh freeze on his last turn. Refresh the freeze. I'll use it after. Let's go ahead and use this C65. Get our regains back. This guy's dead. No worries. The last stretch. We'll save the EX afterwards. Zero, big fat zero. Don't let that buff drop off at least. And we'll just go with the EX. Everyone nice and healed up again. Ooh, I wish we had a party launch. Celes is a big girl. She can handle it. Jeez. Let's go ahead and get my EX up. We're just gonna kill them now. Does this affect my HP damage taken? Oh, that's fine. Yeah. Blind run, not a big deal. These ladies can survive anything. Just healing up all the time. You can see that we don't have any true DPS here, but those auras be killing. The auras from these ladies be killing stuff. Alright, well, I hope you all learned a bit more about Penelo. Hopefully something that you maybe didn't know. And maybe if you were on the fence, it convinces you that, hey, Penelo is the real deal. You can take a look at my arts. So I almost got the perfect set, but I don't find chasing the remaining 330 that big a deal. And maybe naturally through the co-ops I'll be able to finish her off. Celes, on the other hand, is a big eye rave machine. I would ideally want 108 330s, but she didn't drop any of those. Rosa obviously is amazing. 108 330s and C50s. C50 is definitely priority. But yeah, thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.